Imagine a world where relationships are just perfect. No fights, no arguments, no misunderstandings. Seems like an impossible dream, right? But what if we could get closer to that dream by understanding the behaviors that destroy relationships? Picture the scene, a world where you and your partner are living in harmony, where every day is a symphony of laughter and shared experiences. But to get there, we must first identify the pitfalls that turn love stories into tragedies. It's like navigating a labyrinth, but the good news is we've got a map, a guide to the 12 most destructive behaviors that torpedo relationships. We're going to take a deep dive into these behaviors, dissect them, and understand their impact. From the silent killer of lack of communication to the explosive damage of dishonesty and jealousy, we'll explore how these behaviors can fracture the strongest bonds. So let's delve into these behaviors and help you avoid making these common mistakes. The first behavior on our list is lack of communication. It's like trying to navigate a maze while blindfolded. Without clear and consistent communication, misunderstandings can easily arise, leading to unnecessary conflict. When we don't share our thoughts, feelings, and experiences with our partner, we create a chasm of disconnect. It's like two ships sailing in the night, unaware of each other's course. This lack of communication can come in many forms. It could be avoiding difficult conversations, not expressing emotions, or failing to share personal triumphs and hardships. It's not just about talking, though. Listening is equally important. It's about understanding your partner's perspective, validating their feelings, and responding in a supportive and empathetic manner. When communication breaks down, so does the bond of understanding and intimacy, leaving room for assumptions and misinterpretations. So it's crucial to foster open and honest communication. Remember, good communication is the bedrock of a healthy relationship. Next up is dishonesty, a major relationship killer. No matter how you slice it, dishonesty is a relationship's worst enemy. It's like a termite, slowly gnawing away at the foundation of trust that a strong relationship is built upon. It's not just about the big lies either. Even small, seemingly innocent fibs can add up over time, eroding trust bit by bit. Honesty is the lifeblood of a relationship. It creates an environment of trust where both partners can be their authentic selves, knowing that they are accepted and loved for who they are. Dishonesty, on the other hand, creates a climate of mistrust and suspicion. It puts up walls, driving a wedge between partners. Remember, honesty isn't just about telling the truth. It's about living it. It means being genuine, being real, being you. And that's the kind of honesty that strengthens a relationship, that fosters deep, lasting love. Honesty, they say, is the best policy. And in relationships, it certainly is. Let's talk about jealousy now. Another destructive behavior. Jealousy is like a poison seeping into the roots of a relationship, spreading uncertainty, doubt, and suspicion. It's a corrosive emotion that can transform the strongest of bonds into a fragile thread in no time. When one partner becomes overly possessive or suspicious, it creates an atmosphere of tension and conflict. The constant questioning, the relentless insecurity, it can be suffocating. It's like living under a microscope, every action, every word scrutinized and questioned. Now, a little bit of jealousy is absolutely normal and can even be a sign of love. But when it becomes obsessive, it stops being about love and starts being about control. It's important to remember that trust is the backbone of any relationship. Without it, the relationship is bound to crumble. Jealousy, when unchecked, can turn a loving relationship into a battlefield. Now let's look at 3 more behaviors: neglect, lack of respect, and insecurity. First up, neglect. Neglect is a silent killer in relationships. It's when one partner takes the other for granted, failing to show care, attention, and interest. Neglect can be subtle, such as consistently missing important dates or forgetting to ask about your partner's day. Over time, this behavior can breed resentment and create emotional distance. If one partner feels neglected, it's essential to communicate these feelings and work towards change. Next is lack of respect. Respect is the foundation of any healthy relationship. Lack of respect can manifest in various ways, from dismissive remarks to controlling behavior. It's about not valuing your partner's opinions, feelings, and boundaries. Disrespect can be damaging as it erodes trust and love, replacing them with hurt and bitterness. Remember, mutual respect is not a luxury in a relationship, but a necessity. Finally, we have insecurity. We all have our insecurities, but when they start impacting our relationships, it becomes a problem. Insecurity can lead to excessive jealousy, controlling behavior, and constant need for reassurance. It can make your partner feel suffocated and undervalued. Insecurity often stems from personal issues and not the relationship itself. Therefore, it's crucial to address these insecurities personally and seek help if necessary. In conclusion, neglect, lack of respect, and insecurity are toxic behaviors that can severely damage a relationship. They create an environment of mistrust, resentment, and unhappiness. However, recognizing these behaviors is the first step towards change. It's essential to communicate openly about these issues, understand each other's perspective, and work together towards a healthier, happier relationship. These behaviors, when present in a relationship, can cause significant harm. Moving on, we have unresolved arguments, lack of support, and unhealthy dependencies. Let's start with unresolved arguments. Picture this: you've had a disagreement with your partner, and instead of addressing the issue and finding a resolution, you sweep it under the rug. Maybe you're avoiding conflict, or perhaps you're just not ready to face it. This avoidance might seem like a temporary fix, but these unresolved arguments pile up, creating a mountain of resentment and bitterness. The key to tackling this is to engage in open, respectful conversations, to address the issue and find common ground. Next, we have lack of support. A relationship is like a partnership where both parties lean on each other for support, but what happens when one person feels unsupported? It's like trying to stand on one leg while the other is being pulled away. You're bound to lose balance and fall. Lack of support can manifest in various ways. Maybe it's a disregard for your partner's feelings, or perhaps it's a lack of interest in their goals and aspirations. Whatever the form, lack of support can lead to feelings of loneliness and resentment. So be there for your partner, show interest in their world, and reassure them that you're their cheerleader. Lastly, we delve into unhealthy dependencies. Dependency in itself is not a bad thing. After all, we are social creatures who thrive on connection. However, when this dependency becomes excessive, it can lead to an unhealthy dynamic. An unhealthy dependency could mean relying on your partner for your happiness, self-esteem, or even your sense of identity. This not only burdens your partner, but also stifles your personal growth. Remember, a relationship is about two individuals coming together, not losing oneself in the other. Cultivate your interests, nurture your self-esteem, and remember to give each other room to breathe. These behaviors can lead to a toxic environment in a relationship, causing it to crumble. So let's strive to recognize these patterns and work towards healthier, happier relationships. Finally, we have lack of intimacy, infidelity, and unrealistic expectations. Let's begin with the lack of intimacy. Intimacy is the glue that holds a relationship together. It goes beyond the physical and ventures into the emotional and mental realms. When intimacy starts to fade in a relationship, it can feel like you're living with a stranger. This lack of closeness can lead to feelings of loneliness, frustration, and even resentment. It's important to keep the lines of communication open and to make an effort to reconnect on an intimate level. Remember, intimacy isn't just about physical connection, it's also about emotional understanding and mutual respect. Next, we have infidelity. Infidelity can be a catastrophic blow to any relationship. It's a breach of trust that can be difficult, if not impossible, to repair. Whether it's a one-time mistake or a pattern of behavior, infidelity can shatter the foundation of a relationship. It's crucial to maintain honesty and fidelity in a relationship. If you're feeling tempted to stray, it might be time to have a serious conversation with your partner about your feelings and concerns. Lastly, let's talk about unrealistic expectations. We all go into relationships with certain expectations. However, when these expectations become unrealistic, they can put undue pressure on the relationship and lead to disappointment and dissatisfaction. It's important to understand that your partner is human and will make mistakes. Expecting perfection or expecting them to fulfill all of your emotional needs is not only unfair, but also unrealistic. It's crucial to have open and honest conversations about your expectations and to work together to create a relationship that meets both of your needs. These behaviors, lack of intimacy, infidelity, and unrealistic expectations can quickly turn a loving relationship into a painful experience. It's essential to be aware of these potential pitfalls and to work proactively to avoid them. With open communication, mutual respect, and realistic expectations, you can cultivate a healthy and fulfilling relationship. These behaviors can quickly turn a loving relationship into a painful experience. So there you have it, the 12 behaviors that can destroy a relationship. From lack of communication to dishonesty, from jealousy to neglect, lack of respect and insecurity, these behaviors can erode the trust and joy in a relationship. Unresolved arguments, lack of support, and unhealthy dependencies can create a hostile environment and drive a wedge between you and your partner. And let's not forget the final 3: lack of intimacy, infidelity, and unrealistic expectations. These can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction, betrayal, and disappointment, further damaging the relationship. These destructive behaviors are often subtle and can sneak into your relationship unnoticed. But remember, being mindful of these behaviors and their impact on relationships is half the battle won. Understanding these behaviors is the first step towards building healthier, happier relationships. So take this knowledge and use it to improve your relationship and avoid these common pitfalls.